Habakkuk 2, verse 2. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon the tables that he may run that readeth it. Now he's saying that for those that are a part of your vision, but he's also saying that for you that have to see that vision on the canvas of your imagination. So you have to make it plain. All right, it says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. So the vision has an appointed time. This is so interesting because I have another scripture for you. But the vision is yet for an appointed time. It says, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. So it'll be the truth. It shall express itself. When it says speak, at the end it will express itself and it won't lie. It'll be right in line with what God is revealing to you, what he's showing to you. It says, though it tarry, though it seems like it's taken a while, it says wait for it. Interesting, what you were talking about in terms of New Year's, right? It says wait for it, because it will surely, keyword surely, come, and it will not tarry. The second part of that, when it says it will not tarry, it says it will not take as long as it needs to, or as long as you think. Don't spend all your time watching time, let time watch you. As long as you know that the vision is from God, it's coming to pass, it's on the canvas of your imagination, you can spend all your time preparing for the dream. Not waiting for the dream to come, now you're trying to prepare. That's just a lot harder. You can get ready, so you're ready to rock and roll when your time comes. So now you're not caught off guard when you need to do certain things and like, oh, okay, I got to prepare this. Oh, now I got to learn this now. If you really believe what God has put on the canvas of your imagination, you act like it. If you really believe what God has put on the canvas of your imagination, you'll act like it. Up to this point, you've been really believing what you what you painted on the canvas. Why not believe what God put on the canvas? You're already proven that what you write on that canvas will come to pass. Just by the negative stuff that you've been kept putting on there, and that's been coming to pass. The thing that you greatly feared has come to pass. How about doing the thing that you greatly faithed? The thing that you greatly feared has come to pass. How about doing the thing that you greatly faithed? Because time keeps going by. Every day in the greatly feared world and season is delaying the time for the thing that you greatly faith to manifest. And it just seems like you look up and you're 30, you're 40, you're 50. And the whole time you've not participated or taken the steps, the everyday steps, the faith steps to harmonize with what God has put on the canvas of your imagination, right? All right, so what God tries to do is, because your conscience gets in the way sometimes. That's what happens. God will show you something, but your natural man will get in the way because it's not logical to your natural man. Your natural man can't. See, what logic tries to do is tries to control things that are supernatural and make it, to be able to explain it where it can be controlled, where it can make sense. Like a scientist, if I can't explain it, it's not real. See, because I have to be able to bend it down to my natural understanding for it to be justified that it can happen. Right? But God's system is God takes the foolish things of the world to confound the wise, those that are logical. Because it doesn't make logic sense half of the time. And so that means you can't control it with your mind. You can't just comprehend it with your regular mind. You need some of your spirit man to even process this thing. You need to put on some lenses of faith, some evidence of something that you've never seen. Because what you're going to do hasn't been seen. The pioneer, what's their reference? So how could they logically explain what's about to manifest? No one had flown before. So how can you explain that besides looking at the birds? And you're not a bird. There was no light bulb. So you can't logically explain, and you ain't getting a whole lot of backing either. Because it's stupid. Oh, you're going to run a 4-minute mile. Sure you are. We dying at 6. So who does the pioneer reference? Now, let me ask you this. Suppose everybody in the room is pioneers. What you going to do with your logic then? Suppose that's what's causing the frustration in your life. Suppose that's why everybody is looking at you like you're tripping. Suppose that's what's scaring you. You have no rails to hold on to. There's no net. And somebody's saying, walk across that wire. Well, what I was told, it need to be a net. If it ain't no net, it's not safe to walk across the wire. But you're a pioneer. Pioneers don't get nets. Now what you going to do? You ain't going? That's how it's played out. Oh, you're going to intoxicate yourself, numb yourself, and pretend that the picture's not there. I didn't see that. So if I don't see it, I don't have to live like that. I could just do what everybody else doing. Matter of fact, I have enough intellect where I can actually mimic and match what someone else doing, and I'm cool with that. I'm okay with that. I'll just take that. Is this cool? I can just take this right here. And the interesting thing, I was talking to a young man last night. He's had a pretty successful career playing in athletics, and he was like, so we was talking about. You might be listening to this, but we was talking about just. How can I put it? I don't want to incriminate the person, but let's just say we were talking about tithing. I'll just use that. So you just tithing. So we just talking about tithing. So I said. So I asked the question. I said, well, do you tithe? But then the Lord said, ask him another question. What does tithing mean to you? Because the person was like, well, not as often as I should. Because we were talking about the devourer that's been coming. Like the person been dealing with a lot of devourers. So I was like, well, normally that's because you're not tithing. I said, so let me ask you this. I said, God gives you an apple. And way back in Genesis, God gave us a picture. He says, replenish the earth. So let's say God said, replenish the earth, Minister Lamar, and he gave you an apple. So most of the apple is to make sure you have the nourishment you need and the vitality so you can actually do what I just told you to do. But there's 10% of the apple is seed for you to eat. Because if you eat the seed, we done. That's it. The one apple. Okay, and I might give you an apple, and you may go, you said replenish the earth. You just gave me an apple. Oh, no. Consume 90% of it. Take what you see after you consume the 90% and sow that. And watch what happens. Before you know it, you'll have an orchard. So I was telling him that, and he said, one of my friends said, that's why God didn't give us 100 million. Because he couldn't trust us with the seed part of that. Right? And I said, well, if you think about it, where you are now, you were believing for. At one time, because I said, some people would settle for where you are right now. I said, guess what? You were one of those people back in the day. You was like, if I just got right there, I'd be fine. I said, you're there now. Look, you're there now. You're not fine, are you? Because you were making your decisions based on your picture, not what God had for you. You was willing to settle for that. But God is saying, I put you here for something. To be fruitful, to multiply and replenish. That's the picture I gave you. Why are you running from what I designed you to do? Because it's more comfortable to settle for, and you settle for. So now why are you intoxicated? Why are you numb? Why do you need that assistance? Because there's a void. And the void is you're not doing the picture. If you not doing the picture is working for you so well, how come you need assistance to even maintain just any type of peace in that environment? Why do you have to settle for compromise, confusion, and corruption and contamination to even hang out in this level? See, the picture I have for you will fulfill you. It may tarry, but wait, at the end it shall speak, it shall express itself. It's only taken as long as it needs for you to be ready to handle it. Amen. That's the only holdup. And you already know you're not ready to handle it by some of the levels of weakness you're operating in when no one's around. Only thing about a secret is you can't hide it from God. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you be saying around people like, it's a secret. And God be like, it is? Because I see this plainly. Like, that is crazy. And then he'd be passing it on to his men and women of God, so it's really not a secret. You'd be just like hoping they like, do you really see how you look? Right? All right, so let's keep going here. I talked about, I'm going to just reference the scriptures because I spent a lot of time on that. But Genesis 2, it says God caused a deep sleep. And this is when he was trying to, he wanted to impregnate or pull out of Adam Eve. So he caused a deep sleep, a dream, unconscious. It was an unconscious state. So when we're in the dream state, it's that unconscious living. We're not so aware of everything that we can control. Before you know, we're walking in stuff. And it said that he slept. He took one of his ribs, and he closed then he closed his flesh. And in Genesis 15:12, when it talks about a dream, it talks about Jacob's in a dream. It talked about putting him in a trance. Jacob was put in a trance. It says Jacob saw angels going up and down a ladder, back and forth to heaven and earth. But each time Jacob and Abraham and these people would go to different places, God would put them in a deep sleep so he can write on their imagination, so he can show him things. And you got to think about back in that time, they didn't have as many references that we try to play off of. There wasn't a whole lot of stuff happening. They were pioneers. So they had to believe God. I mean, God saying, you're going to have a son that I'm going to give you. Okay, a son. And he says, let's take it a step further. I'm going to create a nation out of that son. Okay, so what's a nation? Okay, God, what's a nation? It's a lot of people. What? Now, give me a picture. Okay, on his imagination, he showed him, look at the sand. That's a picture. Look at the stars. That's a picture of a nation. He gave him something to see. So Jacob, he's operating through these dreams all the time. So now he decides, they send him to get a wife, so he wants Rachel. He sees Rachel, he says, okay, got who I want, talks to his uncle, Rachel. Said, no problem, you got to work for me 7 years. No problem. I will work for Rachel for 7 years. Matter of fact, she's so valuable for me, I would invest my life and pay a price to get Rachel. So remember we talked about the story of the eagle, right? So with the eagles, I might as well be dead without her. So he worked 7 years. So Laban slipped in the other daughter, the ugly daughter, and slipped in. I don't know. Maybe they knocked him out or something. Like, you can't see, like, but so he ends up consummating a marriage with the wrong daughter. So he comes to her like, oh, you tricked me. He says, oh, no, you don't know? Our rules are that you have to marry the elder daughter first. Well, dude, why don't you tell me that ahead of time? He says, so you have to work another 7 years for Rachel. But look, he's like, 14 years? I might as well be dead without her. Whatever it takes. If I have to invest 14 years of my time, of selflessness, of labor and toil, you're tricking me, you're playing me, you're changing my wages left and right. It's unfair. But she's worth it.